Guys, I'm teaming up with my good friend, retired Navy SEAL Jocko, and we're going to do something very special. Jocko started Joo Fuel after finding out some of the supplements that he was buying for his family were filled with heavy metals and ingredients he wasn't aware of. He wanted a line of supplements and consumables that had all of the good, effective ingredients and none of the bad. So, he made it happen. I got set up with all of the key products, and I want to do the same for you. Jocko Go. They are energy drinks for clean, sustainable energy. Jocko Milk Protein for 30 grams of delicious grass-fed protein, plus a whole line of supplements to support mood, focus, hydration, and more. Jocko Fuel supplements are scientifically formulated and made with ingredients that are clinically tested. They are better for you options with no added sugar or artificial sweeteners and no gray area ingredients or banned substances. It is clean fuel without compromise, and right now you can get 20% off when you use the promo code Chael at JockoFuel.com or just click on the link below. Have you seen a version of Henry Cejudo that can beat Merab Dvalishvili? I'm asking you that. I want you to just take a second, ponder it. Tell me which one. The Henry that Mighty Mouse had to face, by the way, the Henry that Mighty Mouse had to face in their second fight is the best Henry I have ever seen. I'm giving you a second, though. Because the Henry that took on Marlon was something special, too. And there was a massive switching from orthodox to southpaw that threw everybody off. Ali's sitting there watching the fight as the manager of both of them going, what's he doing? Ends up finishing the fight with strikes. It was a very unique Henry. The Henry that TJ faced, we didn't see enough of. All right, even though it was a world title victory, we didn't see enough. What was that fight, 20 seconds, 22 seconds? What version of Henry can beat Merab? Because if there's anything you want to say about Merab, if there's any word or adjective, you had better throw consistent out there. What version of Henry have you seen that can beat Dvalishvili? Now, the reason that's a fascinating question is I believe you're probably going to come to the conclusion of you haven't. Which means you're going to have to see the best version of Henry Cejudo we've ever seen. And while Henry likes to say he is the best combat athlete, well, he's the greatest combat athlete of all time. Well, he likes to say that, it should be said about him. He just might be. 121 pounds was the weight class freestyle wrestling when he won the Olympic Games. I say that because in our sport of MMA, we give a major credit to guys that can do things at the highest level in multiple weight classes. Henry was at 121 pounds. I point that out because he was a champion. So then when he went 135, 125, gold, it's unique. It's incredible. But here you do have a wrestler in Henry. You have a wrestler who boxed as a kid. Not a ton of people know that, but he did. And he did that on the south side of LA. And as we all know, that's very traditional boxing. So he's got that in his pocket. He's got the freestyle wrestling, and we know that. He generally uses neither and has turned to more of a karate type feel. I don't know where he did karate. I don't know where he learned karate. I don't know of a karate instructor in his entire camp. He won world championships, by the way. Like, if you think I'm about to tease Henry, I'm not. I'm telling you, it's like an amazing thing. I don't know how he did it. But see, that's what Merab's going to have to deal with. You don't know what style you're going to get. You don't know what stance you're going to get. I have to believe, and I believe this about Henry the same as I believe it about Justin Gaethje. I believe it with faith. Do you know what faith is? You guys hear that word all the time? Well, he's got faith or he doesn't have faith. Do you know what faith means? You probably throw the word around yourself. Do you know what it means? Have you ever looked it up? It's a very simple word. Faith is believing something in lack of evidence. I believe on Henry Cejudo and Justin Gaethje. I believe that they can turn to wrestling anytime that they want. I believe they have the skill and the tool, but they have fallen in love with something else. Golfers will do this all the time, where they fall in love with a swing and they lose their career. They lose and forget everything else. Josh Koscheck, Johnny Hendricks would be two wrestlers that fell in love with their right hand. And it worked, by the way. Guys are studs. But when it didn't work, they didn't have something to turn back to. They let those tools get dull. So perhaps that's what Gaethje and Henry have done. Perhaps. I just don't believe it. I believe the Olympic champion can go take you down anytime that he wants. Well, Dvalishvili doesn't get taken down. And if he did, if Henry turned to that against Dvalishvili, he didn't use his wrestling, and now all of a sudden he's in there with the best MMA wrestler he's ever faced, and he does use it, that would be incredible for me. I would love to see that. Dvalishvili off his back, I would love to see that. That would interest me very much. There's a diversity and a diversification that you must have to get respect from people in our community on the pound for pound, on the overall spectrum and list. But if you're so good at something, you don't ever show it. Khabib was number one on that list. You guys don't know how good his guard is or if it even exists. The other side of the coin is nobody can ever take him down. Right, like the insult is the compliment. I've never loved the idea and the concept of some people that you have to be a master everywhere, you have to be great everywhere. And you're the most well-versed. I've never really got that. I think there's a real honor in having one tool sharper than everybody else that they can't deal with. I love that. But what I am trying to sell to you right now is the idea that we are far more likely than not to see something in the match, Henry Cejudo versus Merab Dvalishvili, that we've never seen before. If Merab gets taken down and moreover held there, you've never seen that before. If Henry stuffs Merab's takedowns, one after the next, we've never seen that before. If these two great wrestlers, the most decorated amateur wrestler versus the most successful MMA wrestler the sport currently has, nullify each other, the way Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, by example, did, what do we have then? Just how good is Merab on his feet? I know he practices it every day. Just how good is Henry Cejudo on his feet? And then you have a pacing issue. Merab weaponizes pace. He can go 25 minutes harder or as hard as anybody the sport has ever seen. Anybody to ever be housed inside that octagon. There is not a greater conditioned athlete. There are equal to, perhaps, Merab. But Henry Cejudo only does 25-minute fights. He only pushes. The human body's not made for that. I mean, you have to be one special athlete to be able to push to that limit. It is a wind sprint for 25 minutes. But now Henry's only going to be asked to do 15. So the pacing and the energy and the exertion, the volume and the output that you're going to see from Henry Cejudo is not like what you're used to seeing. As impressed as you might have been in the past by the outlay by Henry, it's about to get exemplified, mathematically speaking, by 70%. This fight represents so many different things that we have never seen before. This is the most interesting fight of the card. It is possibly the most pivotal fight of the card. I don't know what's going to happen. I feel very strong in telling you guys we are going to see, regardless of outcome, we are going to see something that we've never seen before.